Hello, and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Spin Tires for another laptop hotel room episode. Basically, this is another new map that we're doing with, but it's not technically a new map. This is a completely retextured version of Northwest Falls, and basically what it is imagine a HD remix of a game, and that's what you have right here. They've completely redone all of the trail surfaces. I don't know why I took that line, but whatever. They've completely redone all of the trail surfaces. They've completely redone a couple of other areas on the map, and a lot of people have been asking me to use the F-150 Zombie Edition again, so I am. But anyways, as you can see, there's a lot more stuff kind of on the ground, on the trail, at the sides of the trails, and it really helps because it improves the realism factor of the map. And the other nice thing about it is the fact that even though there's a lot of rocks here on this map, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because of the fact that I actually have a little bit of code that I've put into the game, like just a little bit of code, like a little like tweak thing that basically really improves traction on rocks, which I may actually link that in the description box below with the map as well, so you guys can download that and use that along with downloading the map. Now, this truck actually has some insane flex for something with independent front suspension. I mean, there are some independent front suspension trucks that have a lot of flex, but generally, independent suspension stuff is more used for, like, you know, dunes and jumping and stuff like that, or like trophy truck stuff, pre-runner stuff, rather than being used for trailing. Generally, when you're trailing, you want solid axle, but it all depends. People have used both for both purposes, so it's all up to you. It's just one sometimes works a little bit better than the other one. Now, I just got off the phone with a friend of mine that is actually bringing my car down to Grid Life and is going to be picking me up at the airport tonight, which, like, my flight leaves at, like, I don't even know when, sometime in the afternoon. I'll have to find that out. But, and I get in at, like, I don't know, 10 something at night, 10:30 at night or something like that. But, he's going to pick me up down at the airport, and then we're going to go back to the hotel, sleep, and then go to the track the next day for the driver's meeting, and then out onto the track. So, I'm super pumped for it, and I'm really excited. He actually drove my car in the mountains last night, and he was like, dude, your car is going to, like, absolutely just is going to get down when we get out on Road Atlanta. He said the downforce produced by the wing and the splitter feels really good, and I can't wait to test out the setup, especially now that I've been running 255s front and rear, so the square setup, and with a good bit more front camber up front. I think it's going to do really well. I'm not quite as much front camber as I want to be quite yet. I'm kind of right at -2 degrees. I want to go up to like -2.5, but I'm going to need to get camber plates for that. Maybe 2.5, maybe even 2.8. The thing is, the way front camber works, as far as, like, you know, track cars and stuff like that, you get to a point where you kind of gotten to the limit of what amount of camber will help you, and then after that it starts hurting you. So I don't want to go like Stance Nation camber. I just want to go as much functional camber as I can, and then leave it at that, and then use that, and use the rest of it to my advantage. Because once you reach that point where it's not giving you any more front grip, then it starts to plow again and it starts to understeer. So that's not anywhere close to what you want. My car is really nice turn-in right now. I just want to see if I can squeeze maybe a little bit more out of it. Now, going back to talking about the map, that view, by the way, is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. I love that view. This map has some really nice kind of vista points, I guess you could say, on it. And I actually kind of like a map where you can see for a good ways. It's kind of like a nice reward for getting to the top of a hill, right? You get to the top of this hill, you look out over this really great view, you get this awesome reward, and you just feel good about it, right? You just feel really good about the whole thing. And I think that it's kind of a nice thing that not a lot of maps give you access to. Now, to also pick up on something that I was talking about in the previous video, which is about my truck, I'm going to continually kind of reveal little points here and there about my truck and what we're going to be doing with that. You guys already know we're taking the mall crawler spec. We're taking the mall crawler spec wheels and tires off. We're sticking with that BDS 6-inch suspension though. And oh my god, okay. The only reason why you just heard those two notification sounds in the video is because we're recording on my laptop, and I have my laptop set to wherever, like, to whenever I get, like, a Xbox notification or something, it pops up on the screen. I need to turn that off, because it comes up in videos. But the thing is, I don't use my laptop for recording. I use my laptop for, like, email responding and stuff like that. This is the first time in a while I've used my laptop for recording. But anyways, one of the things that we need to do also with my truck is to improve highway driving. I need to get a sway bar put back on because I actually broke the sway bar bracket off when I was off-roading a while back. It was like my first time on a trail, and I forgot to disconnect the sway bar, and what do you know? I flexed out and came down a little too hard on the front end and snapped the sway bar bracket off. Part of that may have been due to the welds, and part of that may have been due to the fact that I just didn't need to put that much pressure on the sway bar itself. Who knows? But I need to get that part and get it welded back on, get the sway bar back on, so I can actually drive decently well on the highway, and it doesn't like that, and the front axle's not like I'm going this way and then I'm going this way, and so you just get this play in the front end that isn't the steering. And I know it isn't the steering because I have a steering box brace, and every single piece of the steering is like, it has been upgraded to Synergy 1-ton steering. So it's like the best 1-ton steering you can get, and it's got a steering box brace, and it's got a steering stabilizer. So the steering is not the problem. It's the fact that that front axle is moving around from side to side because I don't have that sway bar. And the thing is, the sway bar kind of ties that front axle to the frame so it doesn't walk all over the road. So it's not terribly bad. It's just something that I would like to be fixed before I take a long trip in that truck again. So the optimal setup would be to drive it on the highway down to like an off-roading spot, disconnect the sway bar, go off-roading, then connect the sway bar back up, and then drive home again, which is why you have sway bar disconnects. So the thing with the sway bar disconnect kit is the fact that I've heard that you can make a kit. You can make it like with some pins and stuff really, really easily. So I'm going to look into doing that. And I need to also look into getting my truck re-geared, because if I plan on switching tires, I'm either going to go to a 37 or a 40. I'm on 35s right now, 35s on 20s, and I'm either going to go to like a 37 or a 40 on a 17-inch wheel. So that's going to be a big difference and a big change from before, and I'm looking into re-gearing to either a 410 with a locker or I don't think I'll need to go any more than that. I don't think I'll need to go any more than a 410. I think I'm like a 373 right now if I had to actually guess, but I'll look into that and I'll check more into it as I go along. And I think my optimal setup would probably be a 410 with a locker. The thing is that 5.9 Cummins has so much low-end torque that you really don't need, you don't need to go as high as a 456. I mean, if you're in like a Jeep JK or something and you're working with that 3.8 liter V6, then yeah, you need to go 456 gear or maybe even 513 gears. The thing is, if I went 458 or 456 gears or like 513 gears on on a Cummins, it would just like it would just obliterate pretty much everything. I'd have a top speed of like 55, and I mean, I still want to be able to cruise on the highway at like 75 miles an hour, with the truck, which cruising at 75 with like 37s or 40-inch mud terrains is an interesting experience in and of itself. I mean, that's about as fast as you want to go on 37s or 40s. I mean, like on the highway anyway. I mean, I have seen people do more. I've seen someone do like, not me, I've seen somebody else do like 100 something on 37-inch, what were they, Nitto mud grapplers. No, they weren't mud grapplers, they were trail grapplers. I haven't seen anybody do over 100 on mud grapplers. That'd be ridiculous to see on mud grapplers. They just screaming at that, like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, mud grapplers are like the loudest tire on the market anyway, or like one of the loudest tires. It's either mud graps or super swampers that are the loudest ones. I haven't figured out which one is the loudest yet because I haven't heard them side by side. But I'm either going to go with Toyo Open Countries or Nitto trail grapplers. No more ATs for me. I'm going full mud terrain. No more ATs for me. I don't want to mess with the all-terrain tire life. I'm done with those Terra grapplers. They were okay, but when it comes to stuff like, rocks and especially like deep mud, they, number one, they don't do very well, and the fact that I had them on 20s, one of them actually DB'd it when I was in the mud, and I had to get pulled out and actually towed home on a flatbed because one of the tires DB'd it, and we couldn't get it back. We couldn't get it back on. Nobody had the equipment to get it back on, and the tire itself filled up with mud the second it DB'd it. So that's something I haven't really ever told you guys, but that was part of the reason why the truck was down for a while, because not only did it have to get a new tire, or well, a new tire, but it had to get a new wheel as well because that wheel was screwed up, and one of the steering arms, one of the factory steering arms actually snapped. We're not sure why. We think there may have just been like a ton of pressure on it with the mud and how we were trying to pull it out, but it was just not a pretty situation, let's say. But the steering issue won't happen again because we've got, like I said, fully solid 1-ton Synergy steering components. We've also got a fully adjustable track bar, which is nice because we can adjust the distance on that track bar. But also, we've got like pretty much every adjustment that we need or want. You know, I mean, I'm still on a single steering stabilizer, which I feel like I may need to go to. I may need to go to dual if I'm upgrading to 37s, and I will definitely need to go to dual if I'm upgrading to 40s. I may actually go ahead and just upgrade to dual steering stabilizers right now because I know BDS offers the upgrade for it, and it's something that you really want to do if you're going to run tires that big. But I think in the end, it comes down to what you're going to do with it. It comes down to how you're going to run it. And my inspiration for my build is the AEV trucks, the American Expedition Vehicles, Ram builds. I'm going to be doing something similar to an AEV, but my own twist on what my perfect, full-size expedition truck / fun trail play-around truck would be. So if you guys did enjoy this video and this tour of this map, don't forget to hit that like button. Tell me in the comment section below what you guys thought of it, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later, and hope you guys enjoyed.